We're just gonna put it.
You're good.
Okay, guys, we're ready. I need you to be quiet, please. There's candy. I bought candy for you guys. That, trust me, Amy is not going to give you any if you are not quiet.
Absolutely not.
So, even if you think it's the most formal speech you've ever heard, please be nice to me. That's all I'm asking. Okay, here we go. All right, we're starting. Okay. How would you like to make an extra $370,000? Are you looking forward to graduating from high school, going on to college, and pursuing an exciting career? If you said yes to either one of these questions, then you'll want to consider what I'm about to propose to you. I would like to take you with me on an imaginary journey up a mountain that we will call your successful future. As we journey, I will show you how taking the path of abstinence will lead you to achieve that successful future. Before we embark on our journey, let me introduce myself to you as your guide. I'm a former staff member of About Our Kids, where I worked for 4 years. During that time, I was an advocate for junior high students as well as an abstinence educator in several schools. I care about teens and I want to share with you what I've learned. Our journey will take us through 3 phases. Using the path of abstinence, I will show you how it will lead to the development of high moral character, establish good mental and physical health, and end in great academic and economic achievement. Before we get on the path of abstinence, let's go over the definition in case you don't know what it is. Abstinence means choosing not to do something. For the purpose of our journey, we're going to define it as choosing not to engage in sexual activity until you're married. Now that we have a clear understanding of what our path looks like, let's tighten the laces on our hiking boots, strap on our backpacks, grab some water bottles, and head up the mountain. Beginning phase 1 of our journey up the mountain, your future success, we're going to explore the culture around us to see if we can find good moral characters in it. All around us, we hear messages about teens and sexuality. Authors Chip Ingram and Tim Walker asked teens this question: who or what do you think is having the biggest influence on what people think about sex? Mike, age 18, said, I'd say the biggest influence is TV. It has a huge influence on what students wear, what students do, and how they relate to each other in different situations. Annie and Audrey, 17-year-olds, stated that the covers on magazines had half-naked models and titles like 10 Ways to Enhance Your Sex Life. They said that although their parents purchased the magazines thinking they were harmless, that oftentimes when reading the articles, they thought that they told them when you love someone, you have sex with them, or you have sex when you think you're ready. However, according to a study conducted by the American Academy of Pediatrics and reported by WebMD, one of the biggest factors for early teen sex was the perception that teens' friends were having sex. Given that information, it becomes very important for you to evaluate your friendships to see if your friends will support you in your decision to be abstinent. Did you know that not all high school students are having sex? According to a National Youth Risk Behavior Survey, there's been a decrease in high school students that have ever had sexual intercourse. According to their 2009 survey, 54% of high school students indicated that they had never had sexual intercourse. When we look at those statistics, that means the majority of high school students value virginity. The definition of virginity is a state of being pure, fresh, or unused. Smell that fresh, clean mountain air. Now that we've completed our first phase of the climb by defining a high moral standard for our journey toward success, we're going to continue on to our next phase. The mountain now becomes steeper. We're going to discuss how the path of abstinence will lead us to establish good physical and mental health. By remaining abstinent until marriage, according to a fact sheet from DoSomething.org, a teen activist website, you don't have to become one of 10,000 teens who will become infected with a sexually transmitted infection each day. Other facts from DoSomething.org state that 1 out of 4 sexually active teens has an STI, and 1 out of 2 teens will develop an STI by the age of 25 if sexually active. Some teens, including those who've been through abstinence education, believe that oral and anal sex are abstinent behaviors and do not pose any risks. However, they don't realize these behaviors present risks of STI transmission. Not only does becoming sexually active present huge physical risks, it also poses potential risks for mental and emotional pain. Rebecca St. James, a well-known recording artist, wrote in her book, Wait for Me, about the emotional risk that's associated with premarital sex. This is what she wrote. The emotional pain of losing your virginity, getting AIDS, contracting an STD, having an out-of-wedlock baby, or giving it away, or aborting it, or destroying your reputation or someone else's, can lead to hopelessness, depression, or even suicide. I know that that's hard to hear, but by avoiding the rocky ground of sexual activity, you can keep your footing toward good physical and mental health. Can you believe it? We've made it past our second phase of the climb, and now we're heading toward the peak of your future success. Get ready. Although it's close and within sight, we're now facing the steepest part of our ascent. We're going to use our remaining strength to reach for academic and economic success. According to a report on teenage sexual abstinence and academic achievement, teens who were abstinent were 60% less likely to be expelled from school, 50% less likely to drop out of high school, but twice as likely to graduate from college. Remember at the beginning when I asked you if you wanted $370,000 extra dollars? Well, because they're more likely to succeed in school, teen virgins can expect on average to make 16% higher incomes than those that are sexually active. That adds up to an extra $370,000 over a lifetime. Well, congratulations. We've made it to the peak of your successful future. Now that we're standing on the mountaintop, I hope that when you look down and see what a beautiful view this imaginary journey has led you to, that you will choose to take the path of abstinence in your real life journey and set a high moral foundation, escape damaging physical and mental consequences, and reap the academic and economic benefits associated with the character you develop by practicing abstinence. I also hope that you've come to the conclusion that practicing abstinence not only makes sense, but it can also make you sense. Thank you.